of our Torah. This is Parshat Vayera, where when the Parsha begins, Avram is sitting outside trying to get a breeze. He just had his Brit Milah and is in extreme pain. Hashem has come to make a Bechor Cholim. And in the middle of this, Avram sees three strangers and says, "Listen, God, can we delay this? I have to go take care of these three strangers." Unbeknownst to Avram, by the way, they are angels that God has sent because he knows that for Avram, the real pain is he has nobody, no visitors. He can't do Haknasot Orchim. And then, and God says, "That's cool. I'm good with that. I'm down with that," so to speak. God feels, his kavod is not taken aback because Avram wants to take care of three strangers. And also, though, there's a special thing that God understands. When Avram would do Haknasat Orchim, when he would have guests over, it was a way of him bringing Kedusha, as it were, to the world. You can't, if you try to be holy alone, it doesn't work. You need a community. You have to build a community. How do you build a community? Is you communicate with people. You bring them in. Many years ago, there was a group from the shul who would go to a conservative synagogue on the Upper West Side on Friday nights about 8 p.m. And as they were getting out, they would invite people from that shul to their homes. And eventually, the conservative synagogue that they went to told them not to do it because what was happening was people were leaving that synagogue and say coming here because they met people who were from Jews, Orthodox Jews, who were normal because they had been told Orthodox Jews are crazy, this and that. In other words, it was a threat to that other synagogue because of their misidentification of Orthodox Jews. But that's the whole purpose, that if you want to be effective, you have to go out to somebody else. In Israel, I knew a Chabad rabbi named Rabbi Uri Kaplun who did reserve duty, did Miluim. I said to him, you can get out of it. And he said, "Listen, you don't understand. First of all, I'm an Israeli citizen. It's my duty to do this reserve duty. Second of all, if I want to affect the other guys in my unit, I have to go to my unit. They're not going to come to me." And so this is the whole thing about Avram's Haknasot Orchim. If you want to affect society, you have to do something to bring them in. And for instance, according to the Midrash, he would tell them after the meal, "Okay, now you have to bench. You have to bench to Hashem, to bless Hashem, God, for the food." They said, "Well, we're not really into that. We don't want to do that." So, okay, in that case, the meal costs $1,000. I said, "What?" And he said, "Well, it's one or the other. Who else is going to be out here in the middle of nowhere offering you a meal?" And so he would try to bring them in that way. But it teaches us an important lesson that we have to do Haknasot Orchim. We have to bring especially those who are unfamiliar with what we do. Something to think about.